Greetings, my disciples, and welcome to Find Your Path. We take characters to find out how they work in Pathfinder and Starfinder 2e. Now, we all believe that we are the main character of our own story, and whether we play a pivotal role or a shadowy mastermind, no character shows that more than Cid Kagenou, aka the Eminence in Shadow.
This is my almighty power. I am atomic.
Or as he sometimes likes to be called, Atomic. Now, Cid Kagenou was a high school student who's been training all his life to be a hero. But one day, one of his classmates gets abducted right in front of him. He goes out to save them, and the very next day, he ends up being killed by a runaway vehicle. And that ends his story. Or so you would think. He was reincarnated in a new world and learns how to use magic. And now, with his newborn status, he begins to fake being a normal kid in public, but in the private, they are known as the head of the Shadow Garden organization, otherwise known as the Eminence in Shadow. So, with Cid's backstory out of the way, let's go over their ABCs. Cid Kagenou is a versatile human, and as such he gets a free feat, which we're going to be using to get Incredible Initiative, which adds a +2 to his initiative roll. His background is that of a reborn soul, and as such we're going to make sure he gets the Weight of Experience. As such we're going to make sure he gets the additional lore for Warfare, so he knows when he's being outmatched, and additional lore for his lies, because he is going to be doing a lot of lying. Now, as the Weight of Experience, you also get an Assurance, but that's fine, because we're going to be doing that for our Deception. And then finally for his class, we're going to be the Laughing Shadow Magus. Mainly because it lets you teleport in mid-combat and fight your opponents when they weren't expecting you. Now, there are a lot of class features and dedications that Cid gets, so let's go ahead and get started on that. For starters, he's going to get Alter Ego Dedication. This allows Cid to get an alter ego that is unremarkable in appearance. It allows him to be able to slip in and out of whatever role that they're trying to use to get past securities. Then we're also going to be getting Sound Mirror, so that way it can allow him to change his voice. We're also going to pick up the feat In Plain Sight. So while you've assumed a role and your character would absolutely fit in that area, you can use Deception to go ahead and stealth yourself in instead of using Stealth. And we're also going to need to pick up the Captain Dedication, because what good is the leader of an organization without people to organize? And it also gains him the ability to get a dedicated follower. Of course, his followers are nothing of novices, so we're going to be picking up the Experienced Follower feat after that. This allows all of his followers from now on to be considered experienced followers. As they become experienced followers, they've also gained the ability to actually fight in combat. So, during an encounter, even if you don't use the direct follower's action, they can still do one action to attack an opponent. And then next for our class feats, we're going to be getting Expansive Spell Strike. So this will make it so that if any of the spells that we use have an area of an effect, we get to use that area of effect as our entire range for that spell attack. The only problem is we have to make sure that our opponent is in there. Of course, Cid Kagenou is more than just his class features. He also has various general and skill feats. For example, he has Impressive Performance. If he takes time to try and do a performance in front of people, depending on how long he performs, he can impress more and more people. Then, of course, we've got Charming Liar, where if he critically succeeds in a lie action, that target's attitude towards him improves by 1 step, as though they succeeded a diplomacy check. Next up, we're going to have Backup Disguise. Because, let's face it, you have a specific disguise that you keep on you at all times, and you're going to be able to swap in and out of those disguises whenever you need to. And then there's also Quick Disguise. So that way, if you happen to have another disguise you need to turn into, and you're not having it on you, then you can go ahead and change into that in 1 minute. Or 3 actions if you're a master, or 1 action if you're legendary. Now, Cid Kagenou is also able to actually break curses on people. As such, we're going to be picking up the feat Break Curse. Then we also got ourselves Slippery Secrets. When a spell or magical effect tries to read your mind, detect whether you are lying, or reveal your identity, you can attempt a deception check against the spell's or effect's DC. And if you succeed, the effect reveals nothing. Then finally, the best feat of Cid Kagenou that he has. Reveal Machinations. You can attempt a deception check against the target's will DC. And if you succeed, the revelation makes them frightened 2. And on a critical success, they are frightened 3. In addition, you gain information about the subject as though you have attempted to recall knowledge about them using an appropriate skill and receive the same result on your roll. Which means you can literally lie to an opponent and literally gain information about them. And guess what? that lie you just made, now it's all of a sudden true. Or at least that's how it reads in the rules. Cid Kagenou has a very strange niche of weaponry. Specifically, he uses a Sline Whip, which is a +1 striking, shifting whip. This whip is able to shift between his gaff, which is like a weaponized crowbar, or a longsword. It pretty much becomes any one-handed weapon that he can actually wield. Then we got ourselves spells. For starters, we've got Gouging Claw, because if any Magus is going to have that spell's going to be used. Secondly, we've got Translocate, usually a 4th rank spell, but we're going to be using 5th rank spell slots so that way we can teleport ourselves as far as 1 mile. And then finally, his signature spell, the spell that he uses whenever he wants to try and show off his power. Atomic Blast, courtesy of Starfinder 2e. And that is how you make Cid Kagenou. If you like this video, be sure to leave a comment or a thumbs up, or even leave a heart on the video. Leaving a comment also helps out too. And if you want to see more videos when they come out, consider subscribing or following me. And if you want to have your voice heard on the next poll, go ahead and follow this channel because I do a poll every month. Now, next week we're going to be starting up Super Smash Month with Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll see you then. Bye!